We're going to talk about this Vikings game because Alyssa and I were enjoying the game on TV with zero expectations other than a loss. I expected a loss. I wanted to see J.J. McCarthy not look terrible. And I was startled by what I saw, especially in the first half. I mean, look, this wasn't like the second coming of Christ out there, but like...
Depends on who you talk to.
I noticed there were a couple of those throws where you're like, hey, that's this guy's a winner. Obviously, you don't get drafted number one for in the first round for nothing, but come on. Like, weren't you surprised?
Yeah.
I was.
I wasn't surprised. It's very rare that hype actually lives up to itself, and I mean, there was so much hype coming around him, but what you saw from J.J. McCarthy yesterday was consistent with what we've heard. He is a competitor. He is fearless. He is tough mentally and physically. And regardless of how many times, what's happened with the team, the injuries, whatever it is, he's come back strong. Granted, it's been a really small sample size.
Yeah.
But yesterday, you didn't see a guy who was timid. He stayed in the pocket. He took the hits. He went out when he needed to. And the throws that he delivered were incredible. I mean, they were right on the money where they needed to be every time, whether it was a deep ball, whether it was an outside shoulder throw. I mean, he puts the ball where you need to, and the kid is just a competitor, and he's exactly – I mean, Vikings fans, I know you're going to be – you don't want to jump to it. It's up, here we go. But, I mean, if he stays healthy and you surround him with people who help him, this kid's a player and could bring you to places you want to be.
I mean, if he stays healthy is, of course, the question, right? But we don't have to, like, ruin it already. Like, it was a good upset. Like, I mean, and Detroit is a good team. And honestly, I think Kevin O'Connell was starting to take a little heat for, he was taking heat over, did you leave Carson Wentz in there to be massacred as a human? But I think he also was starting to get some criticism about game calling. And this was, what do I know? I'm just a fan, but this seemed to be a masterfully called game. And we had a run game even. And the offensive line was healthy. And that made it.
And that's the key here, I think, is that this was the game that Aaron Jones needed that they hadn't gotten from him in a while, or any running back for that matter, to have, 78 yards on the ground. When you can run in the NFL, it opens up the pass, truthfully, right? You cannot bring everybody. You cannot bring your entire offensive line and your linebackers on a blitz if you aren't going to be able to, you have to really account for the run. And so I think that helps when Aaron Jones can run the ball, and when they can do that and spread the offense, it gives J.J. McCarthy a little more time. But even still, the things that he's doing that that we've seen for over so many years, he's not holding onto the ball too long. He's not making needless throws. He's not, he doesn't have happy feet. Those are things that I feel like we've said over and over about Vikings quarterbacks, whether they were new or retreads. And he's not that. And I just think that that's really important to point out, that this kid plays the game like he's been playing it for 5 years in the league already. He doesn't look like a rookie to me at any point.
Yeah, the poise is what impressed me, and granted, some of those early touchdowns were set up by great field position and all of that. But the reality was some of these were pretty impressive third down plays. Yeah. And I don't know, like there was a lot to like there.
It's very easy to crumble when things are against you, whether it was a short yardage situation or he needs to run. I mean, he just wanted the ball, we haven't had that guy. It's like, give me the ball and let me do something. Let me put it in the hands of my playmakers and let them make a play. How many times in the last few years have we said, put the ball up there and let the guys you pay big money, let them make a play? And they haven't had that. And now they do. He's willing to take those calculated risks on throws, and they're paying off.
14 of 25, just 143 yards, but 2 touchdowns. And then, honestly, that rush for the third touchdown was pretty good. That was a tough sort of situation. That wasn't a design play. That was him getting it done.
Yeah, he's fast. I mean, he does.
Fast.
People forget with his arm strength and everything else is great, but he's got some wheels. I mean, he's not going to, be a dual threat rush for 300 yards and throw for another 2, but he's going to be able to get out of trouble when he needs to. And frankly, with the way the offensive line woes have been over the past decade, that's probably not a bad thing.
I mean, the funny thing about the NFL at this early phase of the season is you look at, Dan and I on Friday were saying, okay, from a record standpoint, the Vikings are, they're not out of it. But from the eye test of watching this team, they felt out of it. Now, I mean, the Packers are 5-2. The Vikings are 4-4. You're like, well, we got a long way to go. I don't know. It gives you a little hope, at least. Well, I'm not ready to say, like, all right, we're back, baby. I'm not going that far.
But if you look at it, like, this was the game that they needed because they have, the Ravens, the Bears, the Packers, the Seahawks coming up. I mean, these are big games. And if they win them, I mean, absolutely, you could still say that they're going to make a run at the NFC North title.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they could. But that's got to be some consistent football that, frankly, we have not quite seen yet from week to week from this team.
Dave Schwartz is with us. Did you watch the World Series on Halloween night?
Did we watch? I watched it at some point last week just because I knew Dan was going to yell at me for not watching all of the World Series.
Yeah.
I watched.
What's the matter with you? How dare you?
I know.
How could you do? I mean, it's baseball's championship. It's perhaps one of the most dramatic World Series.
It actually
in the last
I'll give you that.
Of decades at least.
In terms of sheer drama in sports, I don't know that you could have gotten better than the Dodgers World Series.
I don't know how you could. I mean, there was like maybe one game that wasn't competitive, and the rest of them were nail biters and back and forth and all over the place. And the performance of Yamamoto off the mound for the Dodgers. I mean, put it this way. There's 3 guys in the history of baseball that have won 3 games, that have gotten 3 wins in the World Series, in the same World Series. And their names are Yamamoto, Randy Johnson, and Christy Mathewson. There you go. Names. That's a pretty good list to have, be part
of. Who would have thought it wouldn't have been Ohtani after all that? I mean, he was
just it.
That's it. I mean, you spend
he was good,
guy, but it works.
He was good in the World Series, but he wasn't as dominant as he was maybe earlier in the playoffs. And look, Toronto hung right with him. I mean, that game honestly could have gone either way. It was just, the Dodgers made a play when Toronto didn't. And there you go. There's your World Series.
Which, by the way,
riveting stuff.
The Twins beat a lot of they beat Toronto in a series 2 years ago. Largely.
That was the 2023 when they finally snapped the curse. It was against Toronto. Sure.
Largely the same Toronto team. And here they are playing for the World Series.
Mm-hmm. And within inches of it.
Now, it is hard to cheer for the Dodgers, though, right? I mean,
I don't dislike them like I dislike the Yankees.
But fair, but still, you're like, oh, this hard scrabble, $382 million payroll team. Like, can you buy a World Series?
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No, you can't.
What?
No, you can't, because they weren't even the biggest payroll in baseball this year. You know who the biggest payroll in baseball this year was? The New York Mets. How'd they do? You can't just buy a World Series. Give me a break.
Yeah, but what were they, like 3?
They were 2.
Okay, exactly. Yeah,
but exactly. But I mean, when the team ahead of you doesn't even make the playoffs, you can't accuse them of buying a World
Mets.
Series.
I grew up a Mets fan. They stink. They'll never win they'll no way. That's the Mets.
We were watching at my in-laws' house. They had it like on a projector in the garage during Trick or Treat, which was perfect. And it wasn't. Look, I don't begrudge any Twins fan who is like, we're out and I'm out on baseball, right? Like, I understand that. This World Series was pretty epic. It really was great.
It was. We watched. Here's how. I turned it on at our house last week, and we started watching it. And this is how much we don't have time to watch baseball in our house. And my kids said, "Well, what time do the Twins play tonight?" I said, "Oh, you poor kids." I don't know how to tell you this, but they don't play tonight.
Bad news.
I wonder if my son, my son is out in LA. If you were going to school in LA, would you go to the Dodgers World Series victory parade?
Probably.
Like as a Twins fan, like
you might as well. You're not going to get one here anytime real soon.
Wow. There is. I can't even disagree.
Look, the thing of it is too, you've got to soak this all up while you can, because we're going to have Armageddon at the end of next season when it comes to baseball. So who knows how long they're going to be locked out. So
that's right.
Enjoy it while you can.
next year,
you can do.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.